students, welcome to the channel. So today in this lecture we will see that what is a transformer. The very first lecture related to the transformer. Okay, so first we will start that what is a transformer. So by definition we can state that the transformer is an electrical device which is used to transform the electrical energy from one circuit to another circuit. Okay, one circuit to another circuit without change in frequency, and there is no direct contact, electrical contact between these two circuits. That is, we are going to transform the energy through the magnetic medium. Okay, so this is the kind of statement for transformer, that we can have the transformation of electrical energy from one circuit to another circuit. Okay, so that is the statement. Now we will see that what is the diagram of a transformer. So this is the diagram for a transformer, a general diagram. So here we can have this setup of a transformer. So what are the different components we are going to use in this setup? So we can see that I have two circuits, right? As we have seen in the definition that it transfers the electrical energy from one circuit to another circuit. So this is my first electrical circuit and this is the second electrical circuit. Okay, so we are going to transform the energy from this circuit to this circuit. And here we can see that there is no direct any electrical contact, and the contact is through the magnetic medium. So for that we have connected one iron core, okay, that is called the transformer core. So this is the transformer core. So these are the different terminologies what we can use here. So what is the first terminology here? That is the transformer core. Okay. So this is called the transformer core, which we are going to use for the magnetic effect, right? Through this magnetic medium only we are going to use the energy transformation. Now what is the second terminology what we will use? That is the primary winding. Okay, so the next terminology is what we are going to use is primary winding and secondary winding. So as we can see, we have two circuits. Okay, so one of these will be the primary winding and another will be the secondary winding. Now what is called as the primary winding? The winding which is connected with the supply. Okay, the winding which is connected with the supply side, that is called the primary winding. Obviously, if we have two circuits and we are going to transform the energy from one circuit to another, so one will be connected with the supply and another will be connected with the load. Okay, so suppose here I have connected this with the supply. Okay, so this is this is called the primary winding. Similarly, suppose this is connected with the load where I am going to use this supply. Okay, so this is called what? The secondary winding. Right? So this is the different terminology: transformer core, primary winding and secondary winding. Okay, so now we can see that what is the working principle of this transformer, that how we are going to transform this energy from this primary to the secondary. Okay, so for that we should know that what is the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. On the basis of this principle only, we are going to have the complete working of this transformer. So first we will see that what is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Okay, so we know that what is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. So in a simple statement, if I state it, that then we can say that an EMF will be induced in a conductor when it is linked with the changing magnetic flux, right? And when we have the equation statement for this these laws, that can be written as minus n d phi by dt. Okay, we know this is the EMF equation. So here, this is the EMF induced in the conductor, what we need at the output side, and this is the number of turns representing the conductor. Okay, and here d phi by dt is representing the changing magnetic flux. Right. So what is the important thing here? The important thing is the changing magnetic flux. Right. We are providing a conductor across a magnetic field. Okay, and if there is no change in magnetic flux, then there will be no EMF. Right. So what we have to consider here, that the equation is n d phi by dt, not n into phi. Okay, it is not n into phi. Phi means what? It is representing the magnetic flux. Means if we are going to have an arrangement of magnetic field where we are having some certain magnetic flux and we are keeping a conductor also. Okay, so if that conductor is kept under the magnetic field, that means it is linking with the flux, right? But that linking in flux with the conductor is not the only thing which will give me the induced EMF, right? What is the desired thing? That I need the change in flux. For to get that change in flux, what we used to do, we used to rotate the conductor so that it will contact, that conductor will come in contact with the change in flux. Okay, so that setup we are providing to get the d phi by dt, right? So here also the same concept will be applied, that I should get the d phi by dt, I should get some value of d phi by dt. If d phi by dt is 0 and if we are having some value of flux, okay, we are having some value of flux, but the rate in change in the flux is 0, that means changing in flux is 0, so there will be no EMF. That is a simple formula. Okay, so that same principle we are going to use in this transformer also. Okay, so what is the working principle here? So let's get start with the principle of the transformer. So here in the primary side I have connected a supply, that is DC supply of V1 voltage. Okay, so as I have connected supply V1, so we know that the current I1 will flow through the circuit, right? So what will happen, because V1 is getting the value of I1 through this coil, and now this coil is here, that means I have suppose number of N1 coils in the number of N1 turns in the primary coil. Okay, and I1 is providing here also. So what will I get? I will get the F1, which is equals to N1 into I1, right? So MMF will develop across this coil, that we know, we have studied that in the electromagnetism circuit. Okay, so electromagnetic circuit, according to that we got some MMF across this, and due to the MMF some flux will be developed, and the flux direction can be get through the thumbs rule of right hand. Okay, so we will get some flux in this transformer core, and that flux according to the magnetic properties, it will follow the intended path, that is through this transformer. Okay, so we will get some flux. So here the flux has been developed, so we have created our setup, and magnetic effect also we have provided. Now the flux is going to link with the secondary coil. Okay, this is my secondary winding, secondary coil, so it is going to link with the secondary coil. Okay, so at the beginning what was here, see, there was no magnetic flux before providing this all setup, so the magnetic flux was 0, and now we are providing some flux due to the supply voltage at primary. So this flux is going to link with this secondary coil now, right? So as it is linking with the secondary coil, so we know that according to the Faraday's law, when the so number of flux is linking with the coil, so we will get some value of EMF, because it was 0 initially and now we are getting some value of phi, that means there is change in number of the flux. Okay, so there is d phi by dt, so we'll get some value of EMF. So that is how much, suppose E2, right? So we are getting E2 across the secondary coil. Okay, so E2 we are getting due to this phi. Now what happens at the initial stage, the flux linked with this conductor went from 0 to phi level. That means there was change in flux, so we got some value of EMF. But after that what? When we will keep the supply on, so I1 will be keeping going, that means it is of constant value. So N1 I1 will also be of constant value. So phi will be also of constant value. So that means now there is no d phi by dt. We are getting the constant flux. Okay. So because after the some value of starting, the flux is going to be constant. That means there is no d phi by dt. Okay. So if there is no d phi by dt, so there will be no EMF after some time of the starting. Right. So this is the operation of transformer when we are supplying with the DC supply. So at the starting there will be some EMF, and after that there will be no EMF, right? So what will happen? But the transformer core will try to remain in magnetic effect, means it will be magnetizing, it will be in magnetizing effect. That means the flux will be circulated throughout the transformer core by taking some value from the supply. That means there is no output at the secondary coil, but primary is on. Okay, and due to that, because flux is circulating throughout the transformer core, there will be some heat developed across this transformer core, and due to that heat, there will be a chances of getting burn out of this transformer or damage due to heat of the transformer core. Right? So that is the effect when it is connected with the DC supply. Now what will happen when we are going to connect it with the AC supply? Okay, so let's see for that. Yes, so what was the problem with the DC supply? That we were not able to provide the sufficient value of d phi by dt continuously. Okay, if you provide the continuous change in flux, then only we will get the continuous EMF at this side, right? So for that we should provide the continuous change in flux in the setup, right? So for that what we are going to do, now we are going to apply the AC at the supply side. Okay, so suppose this is the AC supply, the value is V1. Now due to the supply V1, we are getting some value of I1 that is going through the primary coil. Okay, and we have the number of coils as N1 and I1 we are providing. So what will be developed? That is F1. MMF will be developed across this coil, and again we will get some value of flux. Now what is the difference here? The difference is as V1 is of changing nature, of alternating nature, okay, due to that I1 will also be of alternating nature, sinusoidal nature, okay, that means you will get change in magnitudes, and because of that M1 into I1 means MMF will also be of alternating nature, and due to that the final flux will also be of changing nature, means the final flux what we are getting here, that is of sinusoidal behavior. Okay, so sinusoidal behavior we are getting for the flux. That means at every instant of time, I am getting different magnitudes for the flux. That means d phi by dt is a non-zero term right now. It is not going to zero. At every instant, it is going to change. That means at every instant of the time, d phi by dt we will get, and due to that, we will get some value of EMF. Okay, where? At the secondary side. So at the secondary side, the E2 is developed. Why? Because the conductor is placed, that is the secondary winding, and this conductor is going to link with the flux, and according to the flux, EMF will be developed across this conductor. Okay, and now if I'll connect this secondary winding with a load, okay, so you can see the circuit is completed here, and because E2 is completely developed and we are getting the continuous supply, that is continuous EMF, that means we will get some continuous current at the secondary also because the circuit is completed. Okay, so this is the complete principle, working principle of a transformer, that how it is going to work, when, what will happen when we give the DC supply, and what will happen when we give the AC supply. So transformer is a device which only works when it is supplied with the AC. It will not work when it is supplied with the DC. Okay, why we have seen. What will happen if the DC will be given, that also we know. Right? So this is the complete explanation for a working principle of transformer. Hope you are getting the understanding. In the next lecture, we will see that what is the ideal transformer. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for watching.